Hey there friends, welcome to the video. Hope you are doing really good today. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about what to do when things feel like they are just too much. You're sick of it and you're just overwhelmed, you're over it. So some things that you can do to help you through this sort of tricky period that you're going through right now. And to all my subscribers, welcome back. And if you are new to the channel, then welcome. My name is Dan and I help people overcome their anxiety and their DPDR to get you back to the life that you want to get to. And I do that with coaching. And so we all have days where it can be just like one of those days. You know, for whatever reason, you've just had a bad day. And that's normal and it happens and we just sort of deal with it and we're like, well, I hope tomorrow's better than it is today. But often what can happen when you're going through recovery and when you feel like sort of down the whole time and you're constantly struggling and constantly trying to recover, that one of those days can actually turn into many days and weeks and months. And in the end, it sort of gets to a point where you're just like, come on, like, what have I got to do? What have I got to do to get out of this? And I know that feeling well because when I was going through my recovery, I felt exactly the same thing. Sometimes I would just sit there and just be like, I'm literally doing everything that I know that is right. I'm doing everything I know that's possible. And it's still not freaking working, you know, like what? And so the first thing to remember in these instances is that what you're feeling right now is temporary. It's not gonna last forever. Even though it might feel like it's gonna last forever, it's not actually gonna last forever. And I can prove that to you right now. Think of the last time that you were completely, mega, totally happy and over the moon. Do you still feel like that now? Well, no, you don't, because things don't last forever. Emotions are constantly changing throughout the day, throughout the week, and you know, throughout your life. You're never just one type of thing. And this you can use as a bit of hope, you know, like even if you don't believe it, even if you're just like, whatever, you know, sort of having that realization that this too shall pass, you know, can sort of at least be a little bit of light or a little bit of a foundation that you can cling on to while you are going through this tricky time. And another thing which is going to help you is to be kind on yourself. You might be frustrated at the situation, but really you're frustrated at yourself for not having gotten through this yet, or not having the strength to be able to do this, or not having the knowledge or the wisdom or the patience or whatever it is to be able to get through this. So you've got to remember you're going through quite a tough thing right now. You know, if you're suffering with DPDR and if you've got anxiety and if you're scared about a lot of things, that's a lot for you to take on. So you've really got to acknowledge that and go, yeah, you know what? I am going through a lot right now and I'm doing the best that I can. And even if I wasn't going through this, I'd still have days like this. So it really doesn't do you any good whatsoever to beat yourself up and to get frustrated at yourself, because really that's not going to achieve anything. In fact, all it's really going to do is just make the situation worse. Another thing that might really help you too is actually to not deny how you are feeling right now. If you're feeling like crap and you're completely over it, that's totally okay. You can literally say, I'm feeling like crap today. I do not like how I'm feeling right now. I really would prefer to feel something else. So it's okay to acknowledge that. You know, you don't have to be in denial. You don't have to try and fight it. You don't have to try and resist it, because, you know, the more you resist, the more it persists. There is actually some kind of logic behind that, because sort of going on from the previous point, if you are trying to resist this and if you are trying to fight it, really what you're doing is you're trying to fight yourself, you're trying to fight your own thinking, and you're trying to fight the situation for what it actually is right now. And really what that is doing is it's telling your mind and you're telling yourself repeatedly over and over that this is bad, this is a threat, this is bad, this is a threat, this is bad, this is a threat, and so on and so on and so on. And you know, if you tell yourself that, whether you mean to tell yourself or not, like through your actions and through your thoughts, you're telling yourself that, then you are going to stay in this situation that you are in right now. So I really invite you to just be like, yep, it's a crappy day. You know, like sometimes when you are having a bad day, or when you've just gone through something pretty not great, you know, I'm not talking about something majorly bad, but it's just a bad day at work, or you didn't get the result that you wanted to get, or whatever it is. Or even your anxiety or your symptoms are particularly high today. And then you tell somebody about it. And what do? They listen, and then they offer advice, and they try and fix, and they say all these things that they think that they're helping, but really all you need right now, you just need somebody to listen. You just need somebody to hold a space for you, and just to say to you, you know what, that does suck. There's no silver lining here, you know, that's just shitty. And so when you hear that from somebody, you know, and they're not just trying to fix you and fix the problem, all with good intent, then you actually feel heard, and actually, you know, you feel validated. And that's fine to get that from other people in this state, because that's what other people are there for. So, but you can also do that yourself as well. You know, if you're constantly just trying to give yourself advice and trying to do this and trying to do that, it might be a case of you just like, look, you know what, I just want to feel bad today. I just want a little bit of self-pity, you know, like I can't be strong all of the time. I need just to let it be, so I can recharge my batteries a little bit, and, you know, hopefully get better day by day after this. And sort of once you've gotten past that self-pity stage, then it might be time to look at what it is right now that you're actually frustrated over. You know, can you actually pinpoint it? Can you say, yes, it's this. I'm frustrated about this, or I'm just having a bad day about this. Maybe your symptoms are worse, and you're just like, oh, I've had so many weeks of progress, and now I feel like I'm back at square one again. What is even the point of doing all that work again? You know, and I've experienced that myself, you know, but what you actually find is that when you do continue to do the work that you need to do, you actually bounce back quicker, and you bounce back stronger, and you don't, you know, you don't get affected from it so much moving forward. So it really is important to keep that in mind, that right now, what you're experiencing, sure, it sucks. And it might suck even more amongst a sea of awfulness. But it's not going to be like this forever. And really, you really have to do your best to not give up, you know, to keep going. You have to keep going. You have to keep going with, you know, the things that you know are going to work for you for recovery, because eventually they are going to work. And it takes strength, and it takes courage, and it takes patience, and it takes being kind to yourself to be able to do that. But I know that you have all that in there, within you. You know, that is there, and you've really got to draw upon your strength once you've had that bit of time just to sort of rest and reset, so to speak. Keep going, and keep going, and keep going. And when you do keep going, you know, things are going to get better. And then you're going to have a crappy one of those days again. But what do? You keep going. And then you might even be saying, well, Dan, I'm sick of just keeping going. You know, what's the point of just keeping going? Well, the point is that you want to recover. And the way to recover is to keep going no matter what. And so I'm not talking about just think positive or be in denial about what you're going through or anything like that. It's more about recognizing what you can do to give yourself that best chance of success to actually get there. You know, what are the roadblocks that you're going through right now? What are you thinking right now? For example, if you're thinking stuff like, I'm never going to recover, then, well, you know, where do you go from that? You probably won't recover if you think you're never going to recover, because you're never going to try and you're just going to give up. You know, and that might sound scary to say, but really, you know, the more what you focus on is what you get, and the more you focus on something, you're going to get more of that. And so all I really mean here is that if you just tell yourself, well, what's the point? I've done this for 6 months and it hasn't done anything, and now I'm back at square one again, and You know, I don't want to have to go through that 6 months again, and I'm never going to recover, and life sucks, and all that. And yeah, it might feel like that right now, but how do you know you're never going to be able to get to that point again? You don't know, because you're not at that point. So that's just something you're telling yourself, which you're choosing to believe. How do you know you're not going to recover? Well, you don't know. That's just something you're telling yourself, and you're putting some level of significance and importance on it. So, you know, it's about sort of shifting what you're saying right there. Is, you know, yeah, like it's a real struggle right now. I'm having a really crappy day and I'm completely over it. And today I'm just going to write off for the rest of today. But for, you know, tomorrow I acknowledge that this feeling right now, this setback is really new to me. You know, it's really unfamiliar and it's really frustrating. But I know that as I go through, it's going to become more familiar, and it's going to get easier. And all I have to do is keep going, and with the right, you know, sort of the right ways of reacting to things, and eventually you're going to get through it. So, my friends, I hope this has been a little bit of a bit of a help for you, and maybe, you know, there are some things in there which are perhaps a little bit of a hard truth, but it's really good not to be in denial about this stuff. It's really good just to put it out in the open and just accept it and sort of be, you know, responsible for that. And so if you do have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I always read all the comments and I do my best to answer all of them. And my friends, stay strong. You will get through this. It's okay to have a down day or a down week, as long as you sit there, let yourself be in it, and then start to look forward again, because that's the thing that's going to get you out of this for good. So my friends, I hope you have a really great rest of your day wherever you are, and until next time, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.